Hi guys, and welcome to today's tutorial. Today I'll be giving you a look at the checks application within the Leica iCON field software. The checks application is a versatile tool which enables the user to query various geometric information out of the project data. So if I jump into my checks application, the checks application allows you to select points, lines, and polylines. So guys, I can just give you a look at some of the basic functions which the checks application enables. So if I look at my CAD drawing here and show the points, you can select it from either imported reference data or from your own survey data. The checks application will enable both. So if I come down here, what we can do is we can select points and lines. So if I select one of my points here and select a second point, once you've selected a minimum of 2 points or a line, the properties bar will start displaying the geometric entities relating to the selected objects. So we can see here, we have horizontal distance and slope distance. We have the angle of grade or change between the points. And we also have the elevation difference between the points. If I scroll across, we can see here, we haven't got the angle yet because it's only 2 points, but we have got the angle relative to true north. However, if I select a third point, we'll see here, it will actually now display the suspended angle between these 2 points. What you can end up doing is checking for objects if they are square, for example. So we can see here it isn't exactly square because, again, we'd expect it to be 90 degrees. So we can see the angle of change between the points. And what we can also start to see is on the last page, we can see the horizontal area and horizontal perimeter, and also the slope area and the slope perimeter. Now they are the exact same because this is a 2D points that I am selecting. And again, I could keep selecting points. What I can do there, guys, is if I've made an error in my selection, I can select clear and I could start again if I actually wanted to check a different subtended angle. Like so. You can see there now we have a different angle displayed. So this one's actually over the 90 degrees. What we also have as an option, guys, is if I want to select this final point, and if I want to actually create a block volume. So what we need to do is actually just associate an elevation difference to attach onto that area. So if I select block volume and add 2 meters cubed and select green tick, we can see now we have a block volume. So if I want to clear my selection, I'll just look at a couple of other scenarios. But we also have the option is to inspect points relative to lines. So within the toolbox, you can select the point to line function. I can select one of my grid lines here. And what I could do is I just want to confirm my selection. And we could say that this could be an internal fit out and a bit of stud work. Okay, and we might know that this point has to be a 600 mil offset perpendicular relative to the grid line. If I select my point, I can see it's 620 mil. I can clear my selection again and look at a couple of other scenarios. I'll clear and just disable point to line. Alternatively, what we can do is we could look at a pipe run. So we can see here we have a manhole level and a pipe run that's coming down from the manhole. So we might want to check the grade. This was actually an as-built drawing. And what I could do is I could select the line. And what we could check there is the distance that the 2 points travel to the junction, the elevation change between the 2 points, and the angle of change. Now, again, I have this in degrees, minutes, and seconds. But if we jump back out and go into our units tab, we could change our angle and change this to percentage if we so wished. If I come back into my checks application now, you can see now it has changed to a percentage. Again, if we select the next line, we would be able to check the subtended angle. So in this case, it was 169 degrees. So this could be useful if you have to actually order parts, okay, for a junction point. You'd be able to inspect this in the field and export out as a report and send to a manufacturer if so required. So one of the final functions I'd like to give you a look at here, guys, is how to check whether something is plumb. So I have an IFC object imported in here. And what you could do is you could set up at the corner relative to a column or a beam, or this could be even just surveying a wall. And what I could do is I could just zoom around in 3D. Zoom in so I can get it to the base of the column. I can go back to my top view and we could select store. I could zoom back around in 3D. If I measured up the column, we can see here, if I measure this point here, and it's recording measurements because I have it set to continuous in real time, that it's actually checking it, and we can see that the elevation difference is 4.2 meters, but the horizontal distance, which in theory should be the exact same from these 2 points if it is plumb, is 0. If I move this off slightly, we can see now it's 10 mil off. So if I kind of rotate around in 3D, you can see there it's 10 mil off plumb. Now again, for checking things like this, you would want to get it on a second face also, just to check, because it could be tilted off. It could be correct in one angle but off in the other. So that's why you'd set it on the junction point. So again, guys, then what I can do is I can show you the reports function. So I could store this point, and I could come along and I could select save for report. We can see here it creates a nice snapshot of the image as well. And I can just call this column plumb check. Okay, and select green tick. If we jump back out to the home menu then, come into our reports, select the checks report, and again you can configure this as well, what information you actually want to come across with it. And then select green tick again, define which checks I want to complete. So again, you're not limited to how many queries you can run within the checks application in any specific job. And we can see here now we have a checks report produced, the image is displayed, and we can see the total horizontal distance offset. So guys, that's the checks application. If you have any further queries relating to this, please feel free to get in touch.